A new update has finally arrived for Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy Definitive Edition, and this is Title Updates 1.02 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, and they also fixed some things on Nintendo Switch. So this update came around yesterday evening, so many of you have probably already downloaded it. So in this video, we're going to be going over the patch notes and what has been changed and updated. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys don't want to miss any information regarding GTA The Trilogy The Definitive Edition here on the channel, then make sure you subscribe and have post notifications. So we'll start off with the general updates, and then after that we'll go to the GTA 3 updates, GTA Vice City updates, and then we'll end up with the GTA San Andreas updates. So we won't be going through every single one, but we'll just be going over some of them in each section. So feel free to pause if you want to read any of the updates or changes that happened for each of the titles, and of course the general also. So in general, of course, we have some missing and misaligned collisions. So there was multiple instances where things were invisible and they just weren't aligned correctly. And then we also have some instances of holes to the map. For example, in Portland and GTA 3, there was a full-on hole in the map where you could fully fall through. And of course, there was also some misplaced textures throughout all three titles. For example, like in San Andreas, there's a lot of floating and also rock textures. And we also have some instances of audio lines being skipped, delayed, or repeated, which were kind of common for a lot of people. So I'm glad to see that they fixed this. Now for GTA 3, we have multiple updates and changes, so going over some of them. For the mission Last Request, Asuka will be falling out the boat, which will result in you failing the mission, which definitely had to be annoying. There was also an issue with a hole in the map that allowed players to access Stalin Island early. Now I think I actually saw this issue. Basically, you just fall through like the map, then you just spawn in Stalin Island, and of course you could get there before you unlocked it in the story. But then we also have Claude floating in the cutscene for the mission Big and Veiny, which probably was weird. We also have some character models when not animating during the cutscene for Luigi's Girls, and that also happened for the mission Give Me Liberty. Now again, feel free to pause the video at any time to read all the patch notes if you would like to, but we're going to move on to GTA Vice City, where again we have multiple changes and updates. So first off, we had an issue where paint spray doors were closed, preventing the players to be able to enter. That most likely was annoying, especially if you were trying to lose the cops and the paint spray doors would not open. So good thing they actually fixed this bug. And also, by the way, this was also fixed in GTA 3. We also have the hit rate UTI not displaying correctly there, the mission Gun Runner. So I'm pretty sure Gun Runner is the mission where you have to destroy like crates, and basically the crates would be floating in the air and you wouldn't be able to destroy them, which basically made the mission unbeatable, which really was a big issue. So I'm glad that they fixed it. And then for the only change that I think that happened to the Nintendo Switch, which is in GTA Vice City, was an issue with changes to the language settings not being retained after a reboot. So I'm guessing if somebody changed the language to a different one, basically if they restarted their Nintendo Switch or just rebooted it, it basically wouldn't save and you would have to keep switching back and forth. So that's good that they fixed that. And then for Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One, there was a prompt that said error out of video memory trying to locate texture. Make sure your video card has the minimum required memory. Try lowering the resolution, appearing while exploring the North Point Mall. So obviously that definitely had to be really annoying, because I know a lot of people definitely want to check out the North Point Mall because they did update a lot of things in the mall, which was really nice, and it definitely sucked if people weren't able to explore it, but it's good that they did decide to fix that. And then moving on to GTA San Andreas, this is the one that actually has the most fixes out of all of them. This is the one that definitely had the most issues too. So first off, they did fix the issue with rain visual effects. So of course, when you're driving, you're walking, anything that you're doing pretty much throughout the whole time in San Andreas, especially if it's raining at night, it definitely is hard to see. And I experienced this multiple times since I am doing a playthrough on it right now. So I'm really glad they fixed that. Supposedly they also fixed in GTA 3 and Vice City, but I'm not entirely sure. They did not mention it in the patch notes for GTA 3 or Vice City. So let me know down in the comments if it did update. They also finally fixed the issue with the bridge in Flint County where it was invisible. Many of you guys probably already knew this, but there's basically an invisible bridge in Flint County, and sometimes it could be hard to get over it, but it's nice to see that they fixed this issue. They also fixed an issue where there was an invincible enemy during the mission Los Despotos. So definitely invincible enemies are never fun because you basically cannot kill them and they can really affect your gameplay a lot. So that's great that they fixed that issue. And then they also fixed an issue where some character models were not animating during some cutscenes, which is nice. So if you do own the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, I recommend updating your game now because it should be out for everybody on all consoles, and I think the update should be around 5 GB, so it shouldn't take too long. And this is one of many updates according to Rockstar, so we're going to be having multiple updates, and when they do officially release, I'll be sure to update you guys here on the channel. And they most likely did not fix all the bugs, glitches, and issues only in this update, so they will be fixing more and updating more in future updates. And hopefully in those future updates, they can eventually update some of the character models and hopefully add some quality of life changes and updates. And again, once they do, I'll be sure to update you guys guys here on the channel. But that's all for this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and let me know your thoughts on these patch notes down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do drop a like. And if you don't want to miss any information regarding GTA the Trilogy the Definitive Edition, and of course much more GTA Online and Red Dead Online content here on the channel, then make sure to be subscribed and have post notifications. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.